there, welcome to another edition in CHATROOM. It's your girl Vicky, yeah, and it's still Frank TV. Well, we're going to be talking about something very interesting. It's a dedication to the single mothers out there. I know God is with you. Don't worry, the world has not ended, your life has not ended. Your children are blessings to you, and we're going to give you little tips on things you're supposed to do to get out of the situation you feel you are in now. I have an amazing guest with me, and I want you all to join us in this discussion. Well, thank you very much, sir, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, sir. Like I said, we are going to talk on something very important and also interesting. We're dedicating this segment, this chat room segment, to the single mothers, those who lost their husbands, those who got abandoned by their husbands and their baby fathers or their baby daddies. We want to reach out to them and to give them an encouragement statement, giving them tips on how to move on in life. So, sir, the first question I want to ask you is, most people say that once a lady gives birth or has a child, her life is over. So I don't know, is that statement a right thing to say, or it's just a fallacy?
Okay, thank you. Today's topic is very, very apt and strategic. It's not an excuse for someone to be down. It's not an excuse for someone to celebrate a mediocrity. Now, this is my take. You don't have control over what life does to you, but you have control over how you react to life. So whatever happens to you is a function of your mindset. Back to your question, that at 16, 17, 20, 21, on your early 30s, in your late 30s, you became a single mother as a result of certain circumstances. That is not the end of your life. As a matter of fact, it's a stepping stone to the most beautiful aspect of your life. You know, I've discovered that in this our world, those who are the front line of making impact have stories to tell.
Okay.
Everyone is a product of a past.
Sure.
It could either be a painful past or a gainful past. So how you react to a past unlocks the future.
Okay.
So that you were raped is sad. We condemn it. That you were a victim of sexual molestation, and as a lady you missed your period and you got the boom, you are pregnant. That is not the end of your life. That child may end up becoming a great scientist, a great missionary, a great politician, a great public servant. So you can see that your beautiful days are just with you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. There are so many people who would say that because the society has turned on them, because the society is mocking them, especially those ones who were true Christians, who had taught morals, who had encouraged parents to train their daughters in the way of the Lord, and then all of a sudden they fall victim. Maybe it might not be rape. It's possible they had a fiancé who encouraged them to be technical virgins. I don't know if you understand what that means. Like you don't have sex, they don't have any intercourse, they just technical virgins, or they convince, or they have a boyfriend that is trying to make them prove to them that they love them and all that, and they end up getting pregnant. So I don't know how we encourage these ones, because they will not be able to show face again in church, especially if they were once choir members or
very active, as it were.
Or ushers. So I don't know, what would be your advice?
You know, I said from the beginning that this topic is apt. Nonetheless, it's not an excuse for mistakes. It's not an excuse for somebody to celebrate mediocrity. It's okay. Society turned her back on me, my church, my parents, my peers, my friends, everybody turned their back on me. They were gossiping me, they blackmailed me. Therefore, let me continue in this silly, permit me use the word silly habit. Now, there is no need crying over spilled milk.
Okay.
Yes, no need crying over spilled milk. Clean up. Cheer up. and move on.
Okay.
Clean up, cheer up, and move on. See, there are certain things about life we cannot change. I've come to, practically speaking, there are certain things about life you cannot change. But there are certain things about your life you can change. They are two different things. I repeat, there are certain things about life you cannot change. But there are certain things about your life you can change. If you've been heading the wrong direction for a very long time, wisdom beckons on you to pause, reflect, think, and reconsider, and move on. So no matter what people say to you, no matter what people say about you, your life is your responsibility, and you are accountable to your conscience and to your God. So what you do, make God proud and make yourself proud. Use what has happened around you as a stepping stone to get to your best. I mean, I once saw a picture of a single mother who was even breastfeeding her baby, nursing her baby, preparing for her master's degree exams, and picked a PhD form. So no matter what people say to you, your life is your life. Leave it to suit your conscience and leave it to please your God, basically. And you know what? Let me say to everyone hearing me today, people will always talk.
It's true.
Do the right, they will talk. You do the wrong, they will talk. Now, to that man who is competing for gold in the Olympics, now, right in the audience, is that your enemy who castigates, who insults, now telling you you are a fool, you have a terrible background, and the referee of the match is saying, on your knees per se, and ready to release the gun, and before you is your gold. Will you listen to that person insulting you by the corner, or you keep focused on goal? So keep your eyes on your future, keep your eyes on your goal, and be a goal getter. Don't be distracted. Just cheer up, clean up, and move on.
Okay, sir. There's some ladies who were full housewives, like full-time housewives, and lost their husbands suddenly. Some of them, their husbands decided to follow the moncherie that was that was feeding their ego, and disappeared, abandoning the mother with maybe 4 or 3 or 1 child. And they don't know how to start. Or maybe a girl who just finished from school, she got a job. I'm just giving a scenario now. She got a job, and then because she got pregnant, the boss in her office sacks her that I thought you are a moral person, blah blah blah, and all that. I don't know, how would, just give us little tips, like reality tips, on how these ladies can get back on their feet. Like what can they do, how do they raise money and all that, so that they can start any kind of business or whatever thing they can do to keep their self and their children out of the streets.
Okay, I'm going to come to this your question from through 2 angles at this moment. The first is I want to share a very personal experience. As I'm talking to you now, I'm touched remembering this. I met her. I wouldn't want to mention her name. A very, very bright and intelligent girl. At that time, she was still in a senior secondary. We got close and got talking. This is a girl who wants to always study, even under a very faint candlelight, no matter how. But there's somebody who always said to me, my dream is not just to be a medical doctor, but to be a professor of family medicine. At that age, she defined her path, not just doctor, not just medicine, but family medicine. So for a senior secondary school girl to start about family medicine and start building herself towards that, and suddenly I was not seeing her again. She started avoiding me. So I had to visit them, and the father was like, she's a fool, she's a prostitute, she's this. I said, what really happened? I said, imagine this girl that I'm spending so much on, she became pregnant and she can't even tell us who got her pregnant. We are packaging her, sending her to the village, and somehow I ran into her and the thought was suicidal. He said she will end it, she will take her life, she will do this, she's going to pay her father back, she will cause them more pains. And it's okay, can I talk to you? And to cut the long story short, by the time we got talking, like a dead battery, she was recharged. And I said to you that you are pregnant is not the end of your life. I'm not giving you a pat on the back, but it's a blessing. You can use it. You can still be a professor of family medicine. Now, a girl, senior secondary. So no, do not consider an abortion. Go have this baby. God can handle the baby himself. Somehow she had the baby, and God took the baby home. God took the angel home. And as I speak to you, she's in her final year as a medical student.
Wow.
So, all hearing me, you can still live your dreams no matter what. Now, to the picture you painted, let's just advise people to get savings.
Okay.
You see, don't spend all you have. Don't waste all you have. Little drops, the wise man say, can make a mighty ocean. It may not make sense, but it is sense. Start dropping the little kobo. Look for opportunities. Get busy. Get creative. Get proactive. And don't be lazy. Life is more challenging than we know. But when you are ready for the challenges, life will succumb to you.
Okay, wow, that was a really touching story. So this has brought me to this question. If a lady who has a child, maybe like we have been saying, accidentally, it's not accident, sorry, she had a child out of wedlock, or those who lost their husband, or the husband scrambled, I don't know, majority of them used to have this high self-esteem of themselves. They had a standard in which they lived their life. They felt that they were human beings of worth, and then all of a sudden this incident happens to them, and they feel you see that description of guy that I used to tell God about before, I don't think I am qualified again to have that kind of guy. I would prefer anyone that comes. Some of them won't even mind being second wives. Some of them won't even mind marrying a very old man just because they feel they are no longer worth life anymore. And some single mothers, they feel that dream job, that dream business, they are no longer worth having it. So they feel to give up. I don't know, in this situation, how would you advise them to find their way back to God? To God, to be able to get back their value, to be able to get back God's grace. I don't know.
Yes, let me quickly say to our beloved listeners what I've always said to myself. You are created for more. Don't settle for less.
Yes.
You are created for more. I repeat, don't settle for less. And again, you are bigger and better than your present circumstances.
Yes.
Now, your mistakes does not define you, but your decision does. Yeah. Now, in coming back to God, He has never left us. The most beautiful thing in all this is that God's love is everlasting. He commanded His love towards us, that while we are still in sin, Christ died for us. Now, the door of grace is still open for us to retrace our footsteps, come back to Him, pick up ourselves, and live what I call the God life. The God life is not a church life. The God life is not a religious life. The God life is a pure life. The God life is a winning life. Is a limitless life. Is a life of endless possibilities, where you can be the best of your kind. Your life can be refined. Your life can be a testimony, and it can be a blessing. Now, the beautiful thing again in all this is that your mistakes, permit me use the word, your mistakes your errors, your challenges can be the beautiful building block of what will turn your mess into a message.
Okay.
What will transform a captive into a captain.
Wow.
Where you can be a world changer.
Okay.
That people can just listen to you and you become a beacon of hope, a bundle of inspiration to find purpose.
Okay.
Very, very important. Discover purpose. And the best point of the discovery of purpose is to discover life in Christ Jesus. Please, let us repeat our listeners. It is not a church thing. It is not a denominational thing. You see, this is where we get it wrong, where we equate Christianity to one church somewhere, one denomination somewhere. Is life. I call it life. Jesus alone makes life beautiful. As a matter of fact, the words of Christ builds nations. Institutions are built on his words. The father of India, Mahatma Gandhi, said something. He said, if the world can follow the teachings and the words of Jesus, our world will be a better place. He's not a Christian. He's not even a follower of Jesus. But he said, I have read the Bible cover to cover, page to page. I have listened to his words. He said his words can build nations, can restructure society, can help institutions. So that is what we are teaching today. If people can just realize the words of Christ is the words of hope, I've lost it. And again, it is important we say at this point, be very, very sincere to yourself. Most persons are not sincere to themselves. They excuse their mistakes. They celebrate their errors. You tell yourself, wow, I got it wrong here. I got it wrong. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to be investing in books, but I was touching bodies. I was supposed to be building my brain, and I was investing in pornography. You just tell yourself that I got it wrong, and then permit me use the same word. Get up, clean up, cheer up, and move on.
Yes. Okay, well, those were very impactful words. If you didn't learn anything today, I would want you all to pick a few things that I learned myself.
Thank you.
Because right now, there are so many things that have come to my knowledge, and I would want to share with you people. Try to remember that you are worth it. God created you for a purpose, and his word is something that is going to inspire nations. So if his word can inspire nations, it means he can inspire you, and he can also use you to be an inspiration to nations. Imagine that you grow from the grass to grace, and you're able to advise a lady that was also in your situation, that see, I was once in this mess, and this is me now. I mean, you encourage that person. Now, from generation to generation, they keep encouraging people. Because I know it's still gonna happen.
I can feel it. I know.
I know it's still gonna happen. Most people are still going to make more mistakes. More teenagers are still gonna come. There's so many people that are still going to be deceived. But I would want each and every one of you to know that you have to be encouraged. You have to give yourself this mindset that then go talk.
They go talk.
They go still talk.
They go still talk.
Good or bad, they go still talk. They go still yarn your yarn. They go still gossip you. So whether or not the man is around, try to pick the pieces of your heart. Sellotape it, staple it, gum it, and move on with your life, because the life has not ended. I mean, look at the mother of Justin Bieber now. Somebody was jokingly saying if she had aborted him, she would have aborted $3.something million per month.
Imagine.
I mean, and the boy has brought fame into her family now. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion, because I did, and I learned a lot. Thank you very much, sir, for coming.
Thank you for having me. Just one more word. It is important we say to them, remember, clean up, cheer up, and move on.
Yes. Move on. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm grateful.
All right. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you guys have learned something, because I have. I would like to see your comments. Encourage somebody on this platform through your comments at Frank Online TV. I'm still your girl Vicky. Bye.